Hi friends, MD Vegan. Today I'll make a recipe with a smoothie and it is a very simple flavor. The flavor is only focused on one fruit and that is a cherimoya. This is my cherimoya. Here. This is what a cherimoya looks like, you see. It's a different names. And it comes usually from South America, and now it's in many countries. We in Europe here, I'm in Germany, in Berlin. They also have it from Spain, other countries now. It needs tropical climate, so warm temperatures to grow. It is not so often here available. I heard it is now read about it. It's always in spring, early springtime. It is in season, so I have a chance now to get some of them, and they need to be soft. Yeah, and inside they have a lot of black or very dark and firm, hard seeds, like almost like stones, the pits. And what comes out of it, if you peel it and take the seeds out, it's a lot of work. You have this flesh, fruit flesh. It looks, now like you see this here fiber, like you see a lot of fiber here. It's a structure. Fiber is the part. Every plant has fiber, as opposed to not plants or animals, humans, animals, plants have fiber, that's the characteristic. That's only plants have fiber, and they are to stabilize the plant, for example. And that is a part of the fruit that we usually cannot digest, or also vegetables. But it is very important, these fibers, they are very healthy, because without the fiber, you don't have whole food. Whole food, for medical science says, is what is most important. Whole food, plant-based diet is the healthiest diet of all diets. Yeah. And long term. Some diets may be short term, have some benefits, but long term you have to be whole food. And whole food means with fiber. Yeah, everything you can eat on the plant, the rest you can put away. The peel, for example, you cut off. That's okay, still whole food. But the fiber is a main part of the whole food thing. And it is not digestible. That we thought that long time, that is, fiber is the part of the plant that is not digestible. But now we know even fiber adds very important nutrients to our system, our body. We need the fiber also for nutrients. Usually we thought fiber is only for the intestines, for the bacteria. The bacteria thrive on fiber. They digest the food and they build the main part of our immune system. Now we know when the bacteria digest the fiber, they also produce a very important kind of nutrient for us, almost like a vitamin, very, very vital. So fiber is a very complex topic. Each plant has a different fiber. There's so many different kinds of fiber, and I begin to explore. I find it fascinating because with fiber I can produce wonderful textures. Pudding-like textures, for example. I made with the cherimoya. I found if you blend it, you get almost a pudding texture. I thought, wow, that is interesting. Orange is another example. Orange has also interesting fiber. It is, you would usually juice an orange, but when you blend an orange without the peel, then you also get a kind of pudding-like texture, a little bit creamier. It thickens up. A very famous fiber in the orange is called pectin. Pectin is a thickener used in the industrial food. Also in the kitchen, you use pectin a lot. It's very naturally in the orange. And you blend the orange, you will see it is thickening up. Also blueberries have the fiber, pectin, very famous fiber. You blend the blueberry, it thickens into a gel. Very, very, very thick in blueberries, very extreme. And pectin is super healthy. But I don't know what kind of fiber we have in the cherimoya. To me it's a new fruit, relatively new, but now it's a very interesting texture. And I also like the flavor of the cherimoya a lot. It tastes wonderful. It's a sweet, sour flavor that very much relates to a light flavor. It very much relates to the banana and the cashew nut and the lemon. That's why I just try to do it now, make a smoothie with bananas. They have been frozen. It's nice, you can blend a little bit longer and still have a cool smoothie, a fresh smoothie. and a handful, and not even half a cup of cashews. Because the cashew flavor is a very gentle, buttery flavor, creamy. It goes so nicely with the cherimoya. It lifts the cherimoya flavor a little bit. And the banana as well. Banana has a very complex flavor. Usually we think it's sweet, but when you put a little bit of lemon to it, to the banana, you have a much more interesting flavor as one lemon here without the peel. The banana turns into even more interesting flavor when you put the lemon into it. And the date here, I use the date, I have here some dates, 3, 4, 5 dates, small dates, pitted of course, to blend with the lemon, to balance the lemon a little bit. The lemon by itself would be too sour maybe, but it keeps the color of the smoothie light and it adds a wonderful flavor. It highlights banana flavors you don't really notice usually. So I have made these recipes with these ingredients before for puddings with other fruit I liked a lot, and I thought, wow, what an interesting flavor, this cherimoya banana cashew lemon complex. I want to make a smoothie out of it. Cherimoya is also very healthy, and it's now pretty much known, and there are in the countries where it is grown in South America or so, they have fantastic recipes with cherimoya. I didn't know, yeah? I'm finding out right now. I make a smoothie now just with bananas. Put here maybe a cup of bananas. I don't know if the perfect quantity, I will try. 1 cherimoya. It's pretty much the same amount, cherimoya and banana. This is 1 cherimoya. That's what is inside. I showed you before. And then a half cup of, not even a half cup, a little less cashew nuts to make it a little bit creamier. The silken creaminess from banana milk smoothies with cashews, very nice. And the lemon, 1 lemon and yes, 3, 4 dates or so. Yeah, 5 maybe, depends on the size of your date. So this is my measurement here. But I mean, feel free. All fruit are always a little bit different, larger, drier, juicier. So you always check out a little bit. I put a little bit of water in there, just a little bit to begin the blending, and I can do a second blending to adjust to the perfect texture after this one. Blender dance. That looks beautiful from outside. Yeah. If you see the petal from above, yeah. Now you don't see it anymore, it stopped. But then there's a petal, kind of petal shape on the top of the blender smoothie. Then you know it's a good blending. Everything is turned around and really going through the blades upside down, and so that has to happen in a blender. Yeah. The blender has to have the correct shape. Otherwise, the liquid stays up on top and the firm parts stay on the bottom. It doesn't really mix. So the good blender, the inside of the blender, the content has to be all the time swirled around. And that happens here. We have this flower, this petal shape on top while it's blending, then you know everything's working. And then I saw that, it's very nice. So it's a little bit thick. Yeah, I think it's a little bit thick, a little bit of pudding texture. But let's taste it. If I have to add a little bit of water, sometimes adding water dilutes the flavor too much and it doesn't taste anymore so well. So good. Let's taste it. Oh, wow. Oh, it's delicious. I can't describe it. I just think about something, I recognize this flavor. Yeah, it tastes a little bit like curd. A curd flavor. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it reminds me of curd. When I was little, I always had these curds with fruit in there. And yeah, curd is special because of the texture. It has a very thick texture, a little bit like a pudding, different, like curd-like texture. And this is what the cherimoya does, together with the cashews and the banana. I will add a little bit more water to blend one more time to get a little bit runnier, but the texture is wonderful already. The flavor is really super, and I already know. I'm very happy with this recipe. Find out a little bit more water or less, that is not the point. It's easy. One more blending, blender dance. Also, when you have a cashew, for example, or other nuts that are not soaked, yeah, soaking is a story by itself. I don't go into that now. I don't need the soaker thing. There are pros and cons only for the texture. But when you don't soak it, like here, you may want to do a second blending, because after the first blending, the nuts have been broken down, or the seeds, and then they soak pretty fast. So you do a second blending a couple of minutes later or so, and you have a very nice smooth effect. And the texture, if it's really smooth, makes so much difference in the flavor. That's why these power blends, high-speed blenders, are so important, because you get a texture you can't get by any other blender. If you want to have a really nice vegetable soups or so, and you want to blend nuts or so, this is very recommended. But if you don't know, if you want to use the blender every day or so, you begin with a smaller blender, maybe for 100 euros or so, $100 or so. You can begin to try a little bit of blender, and after a while, it took me years to get this one, because I didn't know. At first, I was just blending was new to me, and I didn't know I want to have such a big blender with it costs a lot of money, of course. So I began with a small blender. It worked, and then I wanted more, and finally here, and this one I won't give up anymore. So if you want to try, begin maybe with a small blender, and then finally you will find it's very unique. The texture is so important. Let me try the flavor a second time. It looks nicer now. Yeah, very perfect amount of water. The water changed the texture, of course, and dilutes the flavor. Also gives the right amount, balances the flavor. Sometimes you have a little bit too much sour, a little bit of water, then you have a perfect balance, for example, or sugar, same. Now I show you what it looks like. And here, first I show you now, before I talk on. You see, this is the texture. It's a very nice smoothie texture, perfect smoothie. It's a very simple flavor here. Just the cherimoya flavor with the similar cashew and banana, lemon and dates to balance a little bit and to bring out more flavors even from the cherimoya and the banana. And also the fiber in the cherimoya, also in the banana, they make it keeping. So if I drink this smoothie, I might be full and might not want to eat soon after. So let's see, I don't know yet. I have to try. When I finish the smoothie, I will see if I have to eat something again very soon, or if it keeps for a while. That's always a little surprise when you make a new recipe. You don't really know when you will have to eat again, but maybe I make another smoothie afterwards, or I eat a handful of nuts or so. Doesn't matter. Later in the day, this is the first I eat today, I will make a green salad maybe, or a green vegetable dish that I have really nice greens too. Here's no greens. This is a wonderful breakfast to start my day of eating. And well, maybe you like my videos. Subscribe, MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. I hope to see you soon.